Hey there, Hoosier fans, coming to you live from Assembly Hall. It's another edition of the Three-Man Weave. We just witnessed IU take down #1 Michigan here at Assembly Hall, 81-73. Hoosiers coming out pretty strong in the first half with 18 points in the first 5 minutes of the game. Slowed down a little bit, but never relinquished the lead from there on and took them to the win.
Guys, my ears are still ringing right now. This was probably the loudest we've heard Assembly Hall all season.
Well, in fact, I think we have proof for that. I was told that a record was set for most decibels from the noise here tonight.
116.
And who am I to argue with it, with the science there? But even if we're just going based on what we all heard, I think we could agree that was probably.
My question is
true.
just when was that recorded? Because there was a number of moments, when this place really seemed like it was about to explode. Of course, at the end, when Victor Oladipo, it didn't count, but he threw down a windmill dunk, kind of put the exclamation mark on this victory. But
and then apologized for it after the game. Because, yes, it was gratuitous, but you know what? Aside from people from Michigan, I'm not sure a lot of people would really have a problem.
Yeah. But yeah, getting just to Oladipo's game in general, just another phenomenal performance on the defensive end. Overall and scoring wise, he put up 15 points. But a very balanced attack from IU scoring wise. 4 guys in double figure. 5 guys.
And it was all 5 starters.
All 5 starters in double figure.
Which raises a slight concern about the bench, but I think if you beat #1 team, you're not going to nitpick that much, at least not right afterwards.
The one person off the bench that I thought was just a little bit off today was Will Sheehey. As sharp as he looked against Purdue earlier this week, just that much off today. I don't know what it was, just couldn't seem to find his stroke. Eventually did hit a mid-range jumper to not going down, but kind of out of sorts. I don't know if that was just a thing of getting into the flow of the game. We've seen that happen.
Yeah, I don't know, because honestly, going into this game, you said name 2 or 3 guys who are gonna have big games against Michigan, given the style of play and just all the hype, the context of this game. I would have thought he would be one of the guys that would thrive in this kind of game. But you're right, he just never looked like he settled in. So maybe he can chalk it up to an off night. But really, in the greater scheme of things, even with Purdue, he wasn't fantastic there. And in the couple of games before that, he had struggled. So he's still in a somewhat of a slump, and that's got to be a concern.
Yeah,
at least scoring wise.
Yeah,
I almost wonder sometimes if maybe he even plays better in a hostile away crowd atmosphere, because he's oftentimes someone that gets picked on. Obviously he was a subject of many Purdue chants.
The antagonist.
Yes,
he's the antagonist.
Sure. And I think sometimes he almost feeds off that negative energy, whereas when you're in Assembly Hall, you're getting almost nothing but cheers for the team. So
he's getting a lot of good cheers from especially the lovely ladies in attendance here at Assembly Hall.
Yeah, but Will Sheehey seems to be a guy, I think we would all agree, plays best when he's kind of pissed off.
Yeah, for sure.
And I think he had a hard time getting pissed off tonight because IU led wire to wire. It was tied a few times, but they never trailed. And yeah, he had this huge adoring fan support, which is not what he thrives off of. So maybe he can chalk it up to that. And IU's back on the road next against Illinois, so maybe we'll have a better idea.
I will say that his defensive effort didn't suffer, though. We've heard that from him a few times, just saying, when he's really off or, when he's out of it is when he's not playing good defense. He had a good defensive game. Matchup against Tim Hardaway Jr., which definitely isn't an easy matchup for him just because Hardaway Jr.'s speed and ability to create a shot. But a guy that I really thought especially early on in the game, 2 guys that worked off each other very well were Yogi Ferrell and Cody Zeller. Zeller at the end in the second half had about 3 or 4 dunks that were kind of just volleyballed off the backboard. He just slammed them home himself. And
then a couple of putbacks, too, in the second half.
A couple of putbacks, but I really thought it was Yogi Ferrell that kind of got Cody Zeller going. They looked from down low, especially in that high pick-and-roll game that they were playing. Yogi was able to split the defender, open up a little seam, able to find Cody for an easy basket. Zeller had a phenomenal game, and this was a statement game. You could definitely say that it was a statement game on national television against another Player of the Year candidate in Trey Burke. We certainly didn't disappoint. 25 points for Trey Burke. Both the Player of the Year candidates really showed up for this one.
Yeah, you hit on a couple of things there that I think are worth noting. One, with Yogi, I don't think he just got Zeller going. I think he really got the entire team going because IU started out their first 8 shots, whatever kinds of shots they were good. What I mean by that is they hit 2 free throws, they hit 6 field goals before they missed anything, and 4 of those 6 field goals were threes. 2 of those 4 were by Yogi. I think that's what really got that run going.
Very confident, too.
Yeah.
You could just tell from his shot. We've seen him grow.
Because no way would he have taken either of those shots the first game of the season.
Oh, certainly not. No, he's coming out both, driving to the basket, and I think even more so with his shot. He really looks confident. I mean, it's something that I think he struggled with in the beginning of the season. It's something that Jordan Hulls, I think, is doing a lot better on as well, because that's something that this season and even the past couple of years, you can tell that he's a little timid to take a shot. But when they're open, Yogi's just as good at knocking down those open threes as anybody, and that's one thing that he's really added to his game that's going to make him a great player in the years to come.
Guys, this game, it lived up to the hype of the number 1 versus number 3 billing, but
bringing in the game day hoopla.
I was just going to ask, how would you rate this college game day experience just for you guys? It's been a long day. It's been a long day.
Well, we got to stay unbiased, but yeah, I mean, I think if I'm speaking as a hypothetical fan, I mean, yeah, this is what you want out of it. I mean, we were all here this morning, and we saw that area right over there just completely filled up, in the area near the court and whatnot. I mean, I think ESPN got the shots they wanted because they had the fans covering the background and going nuts. A lot of fun signs. I think everyone can enjoy that. Yeah, I mean, and then the game lived up to the billing, and that's the most important.
For sure. I think the fans, Tom Crean said this several times in the post-game press conference, the fans really came out today and were solid. They were here in numbers. I think we estimated somewhere around 5,000 or 6,000 fans here for game day in the morning, lining up as early as about 5 o'clock, even with the inches of snow that we got and the cold temperatures. And it was a long day. It was a long day for everybody. Anybody that was here that early for game day and then still coming back in full strength for a game at 9 o'clock. Those fans never wavered. Obviously, we said earlier that they set a record for being as loud as they were in Assembly Hall, and they were just really behind the Hoosiers in full force today. And I think that was, they're mentioning a couple times throughout the game that they're in the running for the best student section in the country. Obviously, we haven't seen too many other opposing student crowds, but I can't imagine that there's anything that much better than this in the country.
Yeah, we haven't seen anything that quite compared to it. I mean, I the other day in West Lafayette, that was my first time personally ever setting foot there, and I was quite impressed by Purdue. I'll be honest, but I think then you come back and see this, and it puts everything in perspective.
17,472, the attendance day, complete sellout, and
not for the first time this season, but they were even louder than normal, and that's a testament to the opponent that was here today.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah, Michigan. It's worth saying Michigan is a pretty damn good team, and Trey Burke. It's hard to argue against someone who says he's the best player in the country. He is in that discussion.
At least the best point guard in the country. I think you can make that argument.
I mean, that's not what we're here to discuss right now, but I'm saying he belongs in the conversation.
Oh, yeah. He's a baller. Simple enough. He's a baller. The guy comes ready to play, and he puts the ball in the hole better than probably anyone that was on the court today. But, it's not all about one player, and IU's team, as Coach Crean said, it's all about team. They showed up today as a team, and that speaks to the scoring depth.
But exactly, and look at the balance. The 5 guys, all 5 starters, hitting double figures. That's big.
But you know what, guys? That will do it for us from Assembly Hall today. Our next edition will be at Illinois as the Hoosiers take on the Fighting Illini. That will be on Thursday night, 7 o'clock Eastern time. You can check it out. I believe it will be on Big Ten Network, but
I believe so.
Don't quote me on that one. But besides that, you can get all your Hoosier basketball news on the IDS website and Hoosier Hype. Check us out, idsnews.com, and then also Hoosier Hype. But for Max McCombs, Nathan Brown, I'm Michael Norman. Thanks for joining us, Hoosier fans, and it was a great one here at Assembly Hall for IU Michigan. We're going to go home and take some Advil and hope my ears stop ringing.
Yeah,
Thanks a lot.
Take care, guys.
See ya.